Hello and welcome to this week's Healing Conversations. My name is Einav Avni and I'm an emotional freedom coach and energy healer. And this podcast is all about empowerment and inspiration and helping people connect with natural healing and just getting better in all ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Today's podcast is just me. And I actually wanted to bring another recording that I did for my own channel some time ago, which is all about how to sleep better. This is sleeping is one of the things that people talk to me about all the time. People either find it hard to switch off and go to sleep, or they find it hard to stay asleep, or on the other hand, the quality of sleep is not very good, or that they keep waking up for various reasons. Going to the bathroom is one of them, but not necessarily the only one. So sleeping is obviously is vital, right? When we're not sleeping, we're grumpy, we're miserable, we can't find the rhythm of life when we are so tired, and if our sleeping is suffering for more than just one night. Of course, I'm not talking about new parents. Then, yeah, your time will come back, I guess. But what I want to say is that some people, I mean, I guess that every person will have their own way of how to deal with not sleeping. But because I believe in natural healing and I believe in the natural elements, I want to share with you three tips that I use all the time and that they work for me, and I invite you to try them. I might actually put a bonus fourth one, but let's see. So the first thing that I do nearly every evening, and which I highly recommend because it makes such a huge difference, is really to have a bedtime tea before you go to sleep. I have mine maybe 1 or 2 hours before I go to sleep, and I notice how the quality of the sleep is so much better. It's like you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, and away you go. You get up refreshed. You get up like, you know, the things that we miss all the time when we're not sleeping very well, right? That helps you get there. Now, if you are trying the bedtime tea, nearly every company I know has some in their range. I used to use yogi tea. I like them a lot. I then went into twining, and then now really whatever I find that feels right, that's where I go. So I have a selection, and I'm very happy with it. Every night, like I said, I drink a cup of tea before I go to sleep, and it's wonderful. So bedtime tea, 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep, I highly recommend that. So, tip number two. This I don't do so often, I must admit, but sometimes when I feel like my mind is wandering and I'm not in this mood to go to sleep, I feel like there's something maybe on my mind, and I'm not even able to bring myself into the sleeping mindset. So what I will do is I will listen to some sleeping meditations. And this is not necessarily meditation that is geared especially for sleeping, but there is one that I like a lot, and I recorded myself reading it. So now I use it whenever I need it. So basically, the idea with that is that before we go to sleep, a lot of the time we would, start thinking about the day, start thinking what went well, what didn't go well, what did I say, what did I didn't say, how do I feel about interactions that I had throughout the day. And this is really unhelpful because we are now going into, 7, 8 hours of sleep. And our subconscious mind, instead of being, you know, free and fine to do what, the business it needs to do at sleep time, it actually uses all of this rumination to kind of walk that out. So what we really want to do is to start sleep time on a very calm, positive mindset. So this meditation that I recorded for myself, and of course you can get that from my website, it's really helpful to get back into that calm, to come back into something that is so unassuming, so that really helps the subconscious mind go ahead and do whatever it needs to do at sleep time. And the third thing, this is something that I do nearly every night, and this is really before I hit my pillow, before I close my eyes, I say to myself, what am I grateful for? What today I'm, where do I extend my gratitude? And sometimes days are really tough, right? And we all have reasons to have very tough days, but it's still important that every night before you go to sleep, that you show your gratitude for something that was still good. So sometimes, like I say, if I have really bad days, I mean, we don't need to go into that, but of course, we all have bad days. But I would sit and I would not sit, I would lie down and I would think to myself, what am I grateful for? And maybe it's a conversation I had with my daughters. Maybe it's the family time that we had together. Maybe it's a new client that had an incredible breakthrough. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be big things, but it needs to be something that you feel, that in everything that is going on that you are happy about. Something that you wouldn't like to change, something that is actually making a lot of sense right now in life. So I do that every night. I ask myself, what are three things that I'm grateful for right now? And usually by the second one, I'm already out. So it is helpful because it's another positive thing to leave your subconscious mind with, while you nod off and it is going on to do whatever it is that it needs to do. So just three little tips. Okay, the bonus one that I was talking about. So a while back, I was interviewing someone. I can't remember her name. Sorry. I was interviewing her because she has the sleep podcast, and actually, I really like this idea because what she does is she reads lists of things that are just in the right time and the right kind of pace and the right kind of volume, and basically, when you listen to that as you go to sleep, your brain doesn't have a chance to get off into thinking and doing whatever it wants to do. So she would read lists of types of sheep and grass or colors of beige, shades of beige, whatever it is, queens and kings of England or presidents of the US, whatever it is, right? So she just sits there and read all of these lists, and people fall asleep to that. So she created this podcast to answer something for her own needs. And of course now other people caught on to that and they use that for their own sleeping all the time. So I will add a link to this podcast episode in the show notes, and you're very welcome to find it, listen to it, sign up for the podcast, and have a really good night's sleep. So this is basically it, a very short and sweet little podcast today. I just wanted to share these 3 tips or 4 tips of how to have better sleep, how to keep on sleeping, and really how to change the quality of your sleep. Because I know that when I'm restless, I do become a little bit more grumpy and I do become a little bit impatient. But when I sleep, you know, especially with my bedtime tea, I every morning I'm like, that was a good night's sleep. And I wish that for you too, which is why we are having this conversation. Thank you so much for watching. If you felt that this was, worthy of sharing or liking or making a comment, then please do. I really appreciate that. Your watching, your help means that, more and more people hear about this, and people need to hear this because, there's too much chemicals and fakery and all of these nasty things in the world. And this podcast is just one avenue where you can find and connect with ideas and people and ways of living that is more natural, more real, I imagine. Thank you. My name is Einav Avni. If you want to get in touch, please do. Have a wonderful day.